we have been discussing from first two chapters of 6th canto, wherein the conversation between Yamadutas and Vishnudutas had inspired Ajamila so much so that after giving up his entire family, wife and children, he went and took complete shelter of the Supreme Lord in Haridwar and performed severe bhakti for 12 years with exclusive attachment and dedication. As a result of that, after the completion of his full lifespan of 100 years, the same Vishnudutas who came previously to rescue from Yamadutas again appeared with Vaikuntha Vimana. And Ajamila, on the bank of Ganga, he gave up his mortal body and accepting a spiritual body, he entered into that Vimana and went back to Godhead. So that was the greatness of chanting the name of Supreme Lord Narayana. Even though he chanted his name indicating to his son, even though he chanted the name of the Lord at the time of death, even though he chanted the name of the Lord without indicating it to the Supreme Lord, without any faith that the whole name is potent and all, even though he chanted the name of the Lord, in spite of being highly sinful person, still Vaikuntha Vimana came to him. Then what will happen if a person chants the holy name whole life without performing sin, indicating to the Lord with complete faith? So like that, Sukadeva Goswami concludes the previous chapter. So now, in the third chapter, the servants of Yama relate to Lord Yamaraj, how the servants of Lord Vishnu disrespected him. Him means the order of Yamaraj has been thwarted by Vishnudutas, because by the order of Yamaraj only the Yamadutas came to take Ajamila to Yamaloka. But that did not happen today. So they say that Vishnudutas have disrespected Yamaraj, the Lord Yama, then teaches the astonishing power of bhakti unto Yamadutas. So whatever last few verses Sukadeva Goswami talks about the glories of holy name is repeated by Yamaraj in this chapter. Yamaraj himself glorifies the glories of holy name in this chapter. So let us see now. Sri Rajovacha. Someone repeating. Nishamya Deva Bhatopavarnitam.
Nishamya Deva Swabhatopavarnitam.
Pratyaha kim tanapi dharmarajaha.
Pratyaha kim tanapi dharmarajaha.
Evam hatagno vihatan murare.
Evam hatadnyo vihatan murare.
Nideshikairyasya vashe janoyam.
Naideshikairyasya vashe janoyam. King Parikshit said, O my lord, O Shukadeva Goswami, Yamaraj is the controller of all living entities in terms of their religious and irreligious activities. But his order has been foiled. When his servants, the Yamadutas, informed him of their defeat by the Vishnudutas, who had stopped them from arresting Ajamila, what did he reply?
Yeah, Parikshit Maharaj is asking. Hearing the statements of his servants who were obstructed by the order bearers of Lord Vishnu, who control the world, what did Yamaraja, whose orders were thwarted, say to his servants? So Parikshit Maharaj, in the previous chapter, said that the Yamadutas, being ordered by Vishnudutas, they gave up Ajamila there and they went and informed everything to Yamaraj. So now Parikshit Maharaj wants to know the response of Yamaraj. So it is obvious. Any curious hearer would like to know what happened. So that is the question is making. Though Yamaraja was disrespected by the servants of Lord Vishnu and his own servants, he did not become angry, but rather repented that he had not taught his servants about Lord Vishnu. So now, of course, from the words of Yamadutas in the first chapter, we know that they understood that there is Lord Vishnu, but they don't know how Lord Vishnu look like. And they don't know that these four people who came are the Vishnu servants. Because if they know how Lord look like, they could have understood. But these four people also looking like Lord Vishnu, that means they also must have they must have some relationship with Lord Vishnu. They have heard that Lord Vishnu, someone is there, but how does he look like? That they don't know. So Prabhupada also writes many places that Bhagavatam again and again describes the wonderful form of the Supreme Lord. Because we should understand what is the form of the Supreme Lord. If we don't know what is the form of the Supreme Lord, even when Supreme Lord comes in front of us, we will not be able to recognize him. Then what is the point? That's why Bhagavatam time and again talks about the form of the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada also mentioned that in the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam time and again there is a discussion about Vaikuntha Dham. So that also we should know. Where we are planning to go, we should know about that place also. If we don't know, how do we understand about it? And how do we develop inquisitiveness or eagerness to go to a particular place if we don't know anything about it? So Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita time and again talks about all these things. So now, in the beginning it said that, though later on in a couple of verses we see, the Yamadutas are kind of showing some disrespect to Yamaraj. So my dear sir, what is this? We were thinking that you are the topmost leader, topmost authority, and everyone should follow your authority. And now some people came and they said, no, your master does not know Dharma only. We are not serving the topmost master. What is this? Till now we thought that we are serving the topmost master. You are not the topmost master. They kind of derogatively spoke to Yamaraj. So Yamaraj is supposed to become angry and chastise his followers. Instead, Yamaraja feeling sorry that he did not he spoke about Vishnu, but he did not speak about Vishnu completely, and also with the followers of Vishnu. So now Yamaraj will do that. He speaks about Vishnu and Vishnutas to Yamadutas, so that they also have some knowledge about Krishna and Krishna's followers. That is the whole chapter. The third chapter confirms the statements of the servants of Lord Vishnu through the mouth of Yamaraja. So whatever the Vishnu spoke about the glories of the whole name, the entire second chapter, Yamaraja also will repeat same thing. His Grace Radhika Vallabha Prabhu, while taking us this chapter, was telling that. So somebody will say that, okay, Vedas are saying this. This is saying this. These are saying this. These are saying this. So the Vedas and the Vaikuntavasis and people from far distant, for them they are all okay. They are all ancient people. We want recent evidence. We want local evidence, not the foreign evidence. So the Vaikuntavasis are Vaikuntha from far distant place. So they have spoken the glories of the holy name, but we want a local evidence. The local authority should also say about the glories of the holy name. The local authority is Yamaraj. In the previous chapter, the remote authorities have talked about the glories of the holy name. In this chapter, the local authorities will speak about the glories of the holy name. In that way, when a remote authority, when a local authority speaks same thing, that means whatever they are speaking is consistent with respect to time and place. That should be accepted. So that conviction will come. That is understanding. It was mentioned in the last chapter that the servants of Yama told their master what had happened. Yamaraja asked and they replied. King Parikshit then asked about this in this chapter. The servants of Yama were obstructed by the order bearers of Lord Vishnu. Thus Yama's order was thwarted. So Yamadutas came to Yamaraj and they're reporting everything to Yamaraj. So this whole chapter is about the response of Yamaraj. Yamasya devasya nadanda bhagnaha.
Devasya nadandabhanga
Kutascha narshe shrutapurva asit.
kutascha narse shrutapurvasi
एतन्मुने वृश्चति लोकसंशयम्
एतन्मुने वृश्चति लोकसंशयम्
न हि त्वदन्या इति मे विनिश्चितम्
न हि त्वदन्या इति मे विनिश्चितम्
O sage, previously it has not been heard from anyone that the punishment of Yama can be avoided. I have concluded that other than you, no one can eradicate this doubt. So when Yamaraj wants to do something, it will happen. No one could have. That means basically that if somebody has to die, they will die. How could they conquer death? I don't see this had happened.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, your voice is not audible properly.
Okay, okay. Now you are able to hear me, Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you. So, Parikshit Maharaj is saying that because Parikshit Maharaj also now kind of same condition. Now he is supposed to die in 7 days. I don't know that somebody overcoming the death. So Yamaraj order is so powerful. Everyone has to go through death. So he is curious to hear about it. What was the response of Yamaraj? I want to know in that way. O sage, from no one has it been heard previously. So please tell me how and why. So like that. What was the response of Yamraj? How Yamraj took it? Like his messengers went and trying to bring one person to Yamaloka and somebody came and stopped. So like for a person who is about to die, this kind of thing is like okay, like most astonishing. So Parikshit Maharaj asked from that point of view. So now Sukadeva Goswami responds, and then from verse number 4 onwards, the Yamadutas will speak to Yamaraj all the way up to verse number 10. Shuka Uvacha
श्रीशुक उवाच
भगवत्पुरुषैराजन्
भगवत्पुरुषैराजन्
याम्या प्रतिहतोऽध्यमा
याम्या प्रतिहतोद्यमा
पतिं विज्ञापयाम् आसुर्
पतिं विज्ञापयामासुर्
यमं संयमनीपतिम्.
यमं संयमनीपतिम्. Sri Shukadeva Goswami replied, My dear king, when the order carriers of Yamaraja were baffled and defeated by the order carriers of Vishnu, they approached their master, the controller of Sanyamani Puri and master of sinful persons, to tell him of this incident.
O king, their efforts thwarted by the servants of the Lord, the servants of Yama, informed their master, the Lord of Samyamani. So Yamadusa is saying, actually they are one sense they are very angry. How can it happen? We are serving the topmost master. How come somebody is dare to say that our master is unrighteous and we don't have a right to do our duty? So they are very angry. And they could not express their anger to Vishnudas. Now they are expressing their anger to their master. Though we defeat all others in the world, we have suffered defeat from the 4 persons with 4 arms. They only know this much. They don't know that they are Vishnudas. After punishing them, we will then bring Ajamila to hell. If we cannot do so,
We are servants of a firefly. They are feeling that, my dear master, if you at all you are a master, our master, please उन चारों को पकड़ो, उनको पनिश करो, मतलब you defeat them and give them to us, we will punish them thoroughly, and then we again go to Ajamila and bring him here. After this, we can no longer serve. Thinking in this way, internally, with choked syllables, the Yamadutas then challenged Yamaraj. Actually, there is a lot of anger in their heart. That ऐसे कैसे हमारा order, I mean, whatever you want to do, how can somebody comes and stops it? And more than stopping, they said, you are following adharma. You are not, you are going against your duty. What is this? So that without of anger, the Yamadutas are kind of venting out their anger to Yamaraj now. From 4 to 10, the Yamadutas are venting out their anger towards Yamaraj now.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, this above thing na, means before the fourth shloka starts, whatever has been shown in the slides, that is from some other scripture or something, or some other commentary.
Yeah, this is not from Prabhupada's notes, this is from Chakravarti's commentary.
Oh, okay.
Connection between two verses, that is from Chakravarti's commentary.
Yeah, because in Bhagavatam it is not very explicitly mentioned that how they challenge their master like that. Na? That
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yamaduta uchuhu.
Yamaduta uchuhu.
Kati santiha sastaro.
Kati santiha sanstaro.
Jivalokasya Vaiprabho.
Jivalokasya Vaiprabho.
Traividyam kurvata karma.
Traividya vidyam kurvata karma.
Falabhivyakti hetavaha.
Falabhivyakti hetava. The Yamaduta said, our dear Lord, how many controllers or rulers are there in this material world? How many causes are responsible for manifesting the various results of activities performed under the three modes of material nature, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna?
They are saying that, oh master, how many controllers of the jivas are there in this world? Till now they were thinking only one master. Now abhi dusra kaun naya aage. Who are causes of manifesting results for action for the jivas performing action in three gunas? So basically, as they indicated in the first chapter, the jivas perform activities under three modes. Mostly because everyone is covered by a little bit mode of ignorance is there, they perform sinful activity, and everyone is subjected to come to Yamaloka. And little sin there will be there always. So they are telling that अभी इस मामले में कौन authority? Till now we only know you as the authority, and now it seems that somebody else is also superior authority to you. Hey, what is this? आपने कभी बताया नहीं हमको. So they are actually finding fault with their master. So आपने as of now you know only you are the master, and you never told that there is some other master, and more than that, some other superior master. So you never told about that. If there are many controllers, what is the problem? If there are many controllers, what is the problem? So Yamaraja says, if there are many controllers, what is the problem? Okay, no problem, I have not told you. But if there are many controllers, what is the problem to you? No problem, na? Then Yamadutas will say, if there are many controllers, there will be many problems. Whose order should be followed? Abhi, if all different controllers are going against to each other's concern, so there will be different punishments. Even if all the controllers agree to same punishment, again there will be different punishments. Whether everyone's punishment should be given or no one's punishment should be given. So like that, the Yamadus are going to say logically. Now they say, Yadisyur bahavo loke
Yadisyurbahavo loke
Shastaro dandadarmina.
Shastaro dandadharina
Kasya syatam na vai kasya
Kasya syatam nava kasya
mrutyus chamrutameva va.
mrityuschamrutameva va. If in this universe there are many rulers and justices who disagree about punishment and reward, their contradictory actions will neutralize each other, and no one will be punished or rewarded. Otherwise, if their contradictory act fail to neutralize each other, everyone will have to be both punished and rewarded.
Basically, their point is that if there are many managers, if there are many masters, there is a problem. We don't know whether all the managers are agreeing to each other or not. If they do not agree, or even if they agree, each manager, each master may give same punishment or not. So there is always conflict. Then whose punishment should be awarded if there are different punishments? So that is the confusion. If there are many controllers who will carry out the punishment, then who will award results for sin and piety, and who will not? So when Yamaraja said that, what is the product? There are many masters, many controllers. Now question is, if there are many masters, whose judgment should be implemented? That who will decide that? Now the question is that Yamaraja had sent yamadutas bring Ajamila, and Lord Vishnu sent Vishnudutas release Ajamila. Abhi, in between these two, whose order should be followed? Unka or aapka? So like that. There are two results for action, hell and heaven. Among all the rulers who desire to give these two results, which one will award these results? Okay. For every action, so based on the type of action, there will be a result. Sometimes positive result, sometimes negative result. But if there are many masters, whose judgment has to be implemented as the right judgment. So yamadutas are actually logically making questions. It is not that they are speaking just like that. They are logically they are asking. They say that if there is disagreement, then no one will award results, since opposite results must be awarded. If some will say that this is pious activity, other will say this is impious activity, then according to this person is pious and result should be pious result. According to this person is impious and impious result should be given. So both are contrary. Which one will be given? If somehow there is agreement between the masters, there will be no question of who awards the results, but all will award results since they are all in agreement. But then again, there is a problem since the award cannot be given many times. Okay, if two masters are saying that, yeah, yes, what is done is pious, and then who will give? If both will give, there will be double result. If it is sinful, if both will give the result, there will be double punishment. That is also not right. So this is their logical question. Then they say, Kintu Shastra Bahuve Syad.
किन्तु शास्त्रो बहुत्वे स्यात्
Bahunam Yakarminam
बहुनामिह कर्मिणां
Shatritvam Upacharohi
शास्त्रत्वम् उपचारो हि
Yata Mandalavartinam.
यथा मण्डलवर्तिनाम्. The Yamadutas continue, since there are many different karmis or workers, there may be different judges or rulers to give them justice. But just as one central emperor controls different departmental rulers, there must be one supreme controller to guide all the judges.
For managing many people performing actions, there may be many rules. However, their sense of control is metaphorical, like the control of district leaders in comparison to the control of a king. So now they're asking, okay, you said there are many controllers. Are they equal to each other, or they are hierarchically horizontal, or they are vertical? If they are vertical, the order of the topmost person only should be followed. Remaining are all controllers only in namesake. The previous question is a question in relation to if they are all horizontal. If they disagree, no punishment will be given. If they agree, are they going to give parallel punishments or parallel rewards? Then how it will be done? Now question is, if they are vertical, the topmost person is the ultimate person. His order only should be followed. The remaining are all masters. Nahi. They are only namesake masters. So like that. Let there be many rulers for handling many people performing actions. There is no fault in that. This is Yamaraja says. Then the Yamadutas says, among all the controllers, their sense of being the chief controller is metaphorical only. Only the top, if it is vertical order, the topmost person is only the actual master. The remaining are only namesake. For example, the controlling power of the regional leaders is metaphorical since they do not have independence. Even though they may be locally called as leaders, but when the topmost person says that this should happen, the local person, even though if he may be having the opposite view, it cannot be done. They are only namesake leaders. They are not the actual leaders. So like that. If the leaders are horizontal, then this problem. If they are vertical, this is the problem. So that's how they are. They are actually very analytically analyzing the problem at hand. Now they further say, Ataswam eko bhutanam
Hare Krishna. Atastum ekabhutanam
sheshwaranam adishvaraha
Sheshwaranam Adishwaraha
shasta dandadaro nunam
Shasta Dandadaro Nirnam
subha shubha vivechanaha.
Shubha Shubha Vivechanaha. Translation: the Supreme Judge must be one, not many. It was our understanding that you are that Supreme Judge and that you have jurisdiction even over the demigods. Our impression was that you are the master of all living entities, the supreme authority who discriminates between the pious and impious activities of all human beings.
Now they say that if there are many parallel, many horizontal leaders, there is a problem. If the leaders are in a vertical order, there is a problem. There is no point in keeping all others in lower ranks. There should be only one controller. You are the one controller and punisher of all living beings, including the devatas. You alone decide the happiness and distress of all humans. Till now, our understanding is that there should be one leader, and that one leader is you only. But today we see something different. What is this? What is happening? So it is like that. Even recently in the Bhagavatam classes, if you see, not the temple level Bhagavatam classes in the fifth chapter of the second canto, Nardam is saying same thing. So my dear father, as far as my understanding is that you are the creator, you are the maintainer, and you are the ultimate shelter of the entire universe. Because everything has been created by you. You create all the universe, all the planet systems, and all the living entities. And the entire universe is in your hand like a Amalaki fruit. And all the living entities are also in your hand. You know everything about everyone. So I understand that you are the only person responsible for the entire universe, the master of the entire universe. But I also surprised. Sometimes you perform meditation as if seeking some power from somebody else. Either somebody other than you is also a master of this universe. That was the question of Naradaman. Something similarly they are saying that. So till now we saw that even the devatas are also under your control, under your power. But today we see somebody else is going against your order. So what is happening here? So like that, they are questioning Yamaraj.
Hare Krishna.
Master.
Prabhuji, like generally we see now that those who are in particular authority level, they always have the respect and means that respect is seen explicitly in their behavior. Like for example, like we see the current acharyas. So any guru we see they are always so very respectful towards their guru, like Prabhupada. So we know that yes, Prabhupada has given all these norms and whatever rules and regulations we are following, and our Guru is taking them forward like that. So we are aware of that there was somebody higher than our Guru or current Acharya, and like that. So how it is possible that so many from the years these Yamadutas are serving Yamaraj, and they have never come in any incidents where they know that to whom their master Yamaraj is following? Because
See,
Yamaraj.
in our case, at the very first step, we have been introduced to higher authorities. We have been talked about Lord Krishna, Krishna's eternal associates, many devotees such as Pandavas, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and many acharyas. We have, for the first time only we hear there are 4 sampradayas, 4 acharyas: Sripad Ramanujacharya, Sripad Madhvacharya, Sripad Vishnu Swami, Sripad Nimbarkacharya, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Goswamis. At the very beginning only we were told about all these things. And we, at least in this December month, we show Bhagavad Gita and we talk about parampara. If something is coming in parampara only, we should accept, otherwise not. That was our first thing. But in the case of Yamaraja servants, it is not, because they are service bound. Na? For them, their service is go and bring the dead person, and Yamaraj will tell this punishment should be given, and they'll be given that punishment. So they are in that particular service domain only. They don't know beyond that. So how can we expect something from them? And Yamaloka, the service is going on 24/7 without any break. It is the topmost service. As the yuga changes, it will keep on increasing only. It will never reduce. Satya to Treta, Treta to Dapara, Dapara to Kali, their seva hours will increase only. And this pastime took place in Kali Yuga. So some of the previous Kali Yugas. So they must be very busy. They don't have time to do all other things and all. So they don't have time to know about other things also. So it's okay. It's not a big thing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I mean, at least for the current pastime, we should see like that. If not all the Yamadutas, these 3 Yamadutas do not know. These 3 people have not heard anything about other people. For them, only service, work is worship.
Yeah.
They don't know anything other than work.
So
like that you can take.
Yeah. Okay.
Tasya te vihito dando.
Tasya te vihito dando.
Naloke vartate duna.
Naloke vartate duna.
Chaturbir adbhutai siddhair.
Chaturbir adbhutai siddhair.
Ajñate vipralambita.
Rajñate vipralambita. But now we see that the punishment ordered under your authority is no longer effective, since your order has been transgressed by 4 wonderful and perfect persons.
So they were in the previous they said that till now we were only seeing you are the master and even devatas are under your control. But today we are seeing your order has been thrown in the dustbin just like as if an insignificant order. But now the punishment ordained by you no longer exists in this world. Your order has been thwarted by 4 astonishing perfect beings. See, Eki order was not accepted. Yamaraja's Ek order, the Vishnuta stopped. And they are telling that your order no longer exists in this world. This is like exaggeration. The servant, they say that because for them, they are all in all. We are representing Yamaraj matlab bas or koi nahi. But like these 3 people, there may be many Yamadutas who might be going to different places trying to get the dead people to Yamaloka. It is not that only at a given instant only one person is dying. At any point of time, there may be multiple people might be dying at multiple places. So different set of Yamadutas might have been sent to different places. But these people say that this entire universe, your order has been negated. Pura bandh ho gaya. So that shows these people are either they don't know anything or they are very angry. In that anger, they are speaking like this. Like that we should take. So now they try to conclude their words. Niyamanam tavadeshat
नियमानां तव देशात्
asmabir yatana grihan
अस्माभिर्यातनाग्रहान्
vyamochayan patakinam
व्यामोचान् पातकीनां
chitva pashan prasayyate.
चित्वा पासान् प्रसायते. Translation: We were bringing the most sinful Ajamila towards the hellish planets, following your order, when those beautiful persons from Siddhalok forcefully cut the knots of the rope with which we were arresting him. Hare Krishna.
Those persons forcefully cut the knots of the ropes and freed the sinful person, Ajamila. We were bringing to hell in pursuance of your order. You know what happened? You ordered us to get Ajamila. We went and tried to bring him. But these four people came and cut the Yamadutas. And they released Ajamila and they gave us warning. If at all you desire to live anymore, go back. What is this? They have the audacity to say that Yamaraja's servants will be killed by them. What authority do they have to say that? In spite of hearing your name, they shouted at us. What is this? Are you not the topmost authority? Your name is not even considered by them as if it is a fit to be given respect. Something like that, they're saying. This verse explains how it happened. If you, the controller, can bring those four persons here and punish them, then our fire of grief will be extinguished. I mean, we were hoping that you are the topmost master and we are under the impression same thing and somebody else is coming and thwarting your order. You please go and catch them and punish them and beat them. Then only will become peaceful. Otherwise, we can't live anymore like this. Till now we thought you are only the master, you are our master and we thought we are serving the topmost master. If you are not the topmost master, what is the use of us serving you? We'll die now. All our hopes of serving the topmost master have been destroyed. So there is no point in living anymore. So like that they are speaking now. This is the final verse that Yamadutas speak now. So now Yamaraja asks, actually what happened? I mean, at least they told. Some people came and cut. Then Yamaraja asks, who are they? Pehle batao, kaun hai wo? Then I'll decide what to do. Without telling who are they, etc. You are speaking so many other things. So please tell me who are they. For which the Yamadutas are replying, Tamste vedutumichamo
तांस्ते वेदितुमिच्छामो
yadi no mannase kshamam
यदि नो मन्यसे क्षमम्
नारायणेति अभिविते
नारायणेति अभिहिते
मा बहिरिति आयुर्धृतम्.
मा वैरित्याय युद्धृतम्. As soon as the sinful Ajamila uttered the name Narayana, these four beautiful men immediately arrived and reassured him, saying, do not fear, do not fear. We wish to know about them from your lordship. If you think we are able to understand them, kindly describe who they are.
If you think it is beneficial for us. We would like to know about these persons, the four people with four arms. When Ajamila cried out Narayana, they quickly came and said, do not fear Ajamila. These people do not do anything to you, like that. So they have gone back to the abode of their master. Who can bring them so I can punish them? So the Yamadutas are saying that, my dear master, these four people have gone back to their master. Who will bring them here so that we can punish them and take revenge for the insult they have showed upon us? So Yamaraja asking, we want to know about them from you, since you have great knowledge. So Yamaraja asks, whose servants are they? Where do they reside? We will bring them here. If you think it beneficial, then tell us. Yamadutas are asking, whose servants are they? Where do they reside? If you tell us who are they, where they are stay, we go there and catch them and defeat them and then bring them here, so that you will punish them and we will also punish them. If you think it is beneficial, then tell us. Otherwise, we will die, not being able to tolerate defeat. Till now, we were thinking that we are the servants of the topmost master and we are the topmost servants. Today, somebody else's servants have become victorious and we are defeated. We don't want to live anymore in this shame. So that's how the Yamadutas are expressing their lamentation to Yamaraja. Please tell me what they did. Yamaraja is asking, so I can understand who they are. So Yamadutas are saying that they were very bold. They said to that sinful Ajamila, do not fear. How improper is this? Keto Ajamila did all the sinful activities and is supposed to be fearful. When we came there, Ajamila was afraid, but they came and said, don't fear. We are here to protect you. And they told Ajamila, don't fear. And they told us, if you desire to live anymore, leave him. Like this. So, 2-3 things Yamaraja heard. First of all, 4 people came who are with 4 hands. And why they came? In order to protect Ajamila. Why they want to protect Ajamila? Because Ajamila chanted the name of Narayana. Narayana iti abhihite. As soon as Ajamila chanted Narayana, these 4 people came with 4 hands. Just by hearing this, Yamaraja understood. Okay, when Ajamila chanted Narayana, these 4 people came with 4 hands. That means they are Lord Narayana's associates, Lord Narayana's servants. They are Vaikuntha Vasis, the Vishnudutas. So as soon as Yamaraj understood that, the Vishnudutas came and stopped his own servants. For some time, Yamaraj went into trance. Just by hearing the name of Narayana, the bhakti which was secretly hidden in the heart of Yamaraj is erupted with all the emotions. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kapano Ishravana Shuddha Chitta Karoi Uday. As soon as Yamaraj heard the name Narayana, his bhakti for Lord Narayana erupted from the core of his heart. It was actually overflowing. And all the symptoms of his love for the Supreme Lord started manifesting in the personality of Yamaraj. So it is like that. This is like trigger. One trigger brought out all the emotions that Yamaraja holds for the Supreme Lord Vishnu. It all came out in no time. So this is the greatness of Yamaraj. This is how, because Yamaraj is a great devotee, but since he is doing a duty, thankless task, so he has to be, in his duty, he has to be like that. He can't be like uh, in a different way. In his duty, he should be very strict and performing all his, giving judgment quickly, so that there are so many people coming to hell every now and then. Things should happen immediately. He was always busy. His personality immediately gets changed. So like that.
This is one of the historical example, no, Prabhuji, like means those who are pious and those who may have chanted the Lord's name at the time of death, वहाँ पे the Yamadutas may not have gone, and those who are not chanted, there only Yamadutas have gone and peacefully done their job like that. But this is one example where both were present and then the defeat of one of them like that. So it's
Because
quite
Yamadutas were always told, okay, go here, get him here, go there and get him here, go there, get them here. Because they were because analysis was done by Yamaraj and Chitragupta. Yamadutas did not analyze. So till now, the pious people were taken to heaven and sinful people were taken to hell. But here, a sinful person was supposed to come to hell, he was trapped. So this is a classical case.
yeah. This is a spot changing, like means on the spot that Narayana was chanted, and that is why the whole game changed like that.
Yes, yes. So the same way, even though in the past there might be some sinful people, they also might have chanted Narayana's name. We don't know. The Yamadutas still brought him to Yamaloka. After coming to Yamaloka, Yamaraj might have given concession and he might have done other things. But in front of Yamadutas, nothing like this happened till now.
Yeah, right.
So like that we can think of.
Quite the incidence is very dramatic. Like, yeah.
See, this is basically to say that so the holy name can act, but we cannot demand that. So even a person, sinful person, if he chants holy name, yes, holy name is powerful, it can act. But we cannot demand that for every person it should happen like Ajamila. At the time of death, they should not be even be taken to hell. So even if somebody has been chanted, who has chanted holy name unknowingly, even though they have taken Yamaloka, so Yamalas might not give any punishment to him, and he might have sent them to some Pitraloka and here and there, and then eventually he might have got taken birth in a devotee family and practiced bhakti sincerely and then gone back to Godhead. Something such like would have happened. But this like this, Ajamila case would have been a classical case. ऐसा नहीं हुआ अभी तक. So in that way it comes in Bhagavatam, in the pages of Bhagavatam. This is to give the hope that yes, we may not see like this, the holy name acting like this always, but holy name can act like this also. To give us that hope. This past time is there.
And this happened in Kali Yuga, na, you mentioned, like maybe
Yes.
previous, some previous Kali Yuga.
Yeah, some of the previous Kali Yuga, sometime it happened.
Yeah.
So now, Yamaraja will speak. The rest of the chapter is all, maybe last 3-4 verses Sukadeva Goswami will conclude. Otherwise, the most verses from this chapter are all spoken by Yamaraja himself. Iti devasa asprushta
Iti devas aprushta
praja samyamano yamaha
praja sanyamano
prita swadata prita swadutan pratyaha
prita swadutan pratyaha
Smaran padambujam hare.
smaran padambujam hare. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, thus having been questioned, Lord Yamaraja, the supreme controller of the living entities, was very pleased with his order carriers because of hearing from them the holy name of Narayana. He remembered the lotus feet of the Lord and began to reply.
Even when his servants were speaking disrespectfully towards Yamaraja, Yamaraja did not become angry with them because his Yamadutas said Narayana. As soon as he heard Narayana, he forgot everything else. His devotional sentiment started erupting from his heart. Thus, being questioned, Yamaraja, the controller of the living entities, was very pleased and replied to his order carriers while remembering the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Just by hearing the name of Narayana from his servants, he was pleased and began to remember the Supreme Lord. So it is like that. Now he has got an opportunity to speak Krishna Katha to Yamadutas. In the last Sunday, we were discussing Bhagavatam 3rd canto, 15th chapter or 14th chapter, whatever it is. So when Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu are in the womb of Diti, Diti held the embryo for 100 years. As a result of that, the entire universe became dark. The Devatas immediately went to Brahma and asking for the reason. My dear Lord, what is the problem? Why it is so happening? And I think it is happening because of the embryo, the embryo of Kashyapa and Diti. So please tell us how it can be solved. So Brahma took that opportunity to give Bhagavatam class. So there Brahma describes first, instead of he will talk about the past time, but while talking about the past time of 4 Kumaras entering into Vaikuntha, he gets into the details of Vaikuntha, description of Vaikuntha, because he has got the opportunity to speak Krishna Katha. So he speaks about the glories of Vaikuntha to the Devatas elaborately. Same way, Yamaraj also getting an opportunity to speak Krishna Katha. So he'll speak the glories of holy name to Yamadutas. So like that. Yama uvacha.
Yama Uvacha.
Paro madanyo jagatastutascha.
Paro Madanya Jagatastastu Sascha.
Otam protam pratavadyatra vishwam.
Otam Protam Patavadyatra Vishwam.
Yadamshatosya siddhijanmanasha.
Yadam Sato Yasya Siti Janmanasha.
नस्योटवद्यस्य वशे च लोकः
Nasya Nasyo Tavadyasya Vase Chaloka. Yamaraja said, My dear servants, you have accepted me as a supreme, but factually I am not. Above me, and above all the other demigods, including Indra and Chandra, is the one supreme master and controller. The partial manifestations of his personality are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, who are in charge of the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this universe. He is like the two threads that form the length and breadth of a woven cloth. The entire world is controlled by him, just as a bull is controlled by a rope in its noose. Hare Krishna.
Now Yamara says, there is a lord of all moving and non-moving beings, superior to me, whose portions create, maintain, and destroy this universe, in whom this universe exists like cloth with interwoven threads, and by whom all people are controlled like oxen tied by the nose. You are great offenders, my dear servants. All of you are great offenders. What nonsense you are speaking. Hear the truth. There is a controller superior to me, though you think I am the controller. Because they told that we thought that you are the supreme controller, all the devatas under control. Then Yamara said that what nonsense are speaking. I am not a supreme controller. I never told that. There is a supreme most controller. The supreme lord is there. Under his supervision only everyone is controlled. By his expansion only the creation, maintenance, and annihilation is taking place. And all of us, including all the devatas, are controlled by him, just like a bull is controlled by a nose thread. Understand this. Like that, Yamaraja is speaking to Yamadutas. He is superior to all devatas as well. I am the Lord only of those who moving beings who commit sin. So, my dear servants, my dear sons, I am not the master of everyone. I am only the master of the human beings who commit sin. Only the humans who commit sin will come to Yamaloka and they will be awarded punishment. I am not at all master of any other things, any other beings. But I am his servant. There is a supreme master. I am his servant. He is the Lord of all of us, including all the devatas. Then Yamadutas asks, who is he? Within him exists the entire universe like a cloth with threads woven lengthwise and crosswise. So when the kapda, the clothes what we are wearing, it seems to be like a normal cloth, but actually it is made up of the combination of the threads. There are so many threads horizontally, there are so many threads vertically, and they are interwoven together. For us, it appears to be like a cloth, but inside there is actually weaving of threads horizontally and vertically. From his expansions, Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma arise. Creation, maintenance, and destruction all exist under his control like a bull with a rope in his nose. So it is like that. The entire creation, maintenance, and annihilation are taken care by Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. It is all happening under his supreme control. Then what to speak of me? I am a tiny controller. I am not the supreme controller. Even the big controllers like Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu are under his control. Then who am I? I am only the master of few human beings who commit sin. Not even other human beings who don't commit sin, they don't come to me. So like that, Yamaraja is actually clarifying the master, clarifying the matter. Crystal clear. So now you are able to follow Hare Krishna?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Okay. Now Yamaraj will continue. Nanama birvachi janam nijayam
Yo nama birvyachirjanam nijayam
badnati tantriam imadama birgha
badnati tantriyami vadama birda
yasmai balinta ime nama karma
yasmai balinta ime nama karma
निबंध बद्धाश्चकिता वहन्ति
nibandhabaddaschakita vahanti. Just as the driver of a bullock cart ties ropes through the nostrils of his bulls to control them, the Supreme Personality of Godhead binds all men through the ropes of his words in the Vedas, which set forth the names and activities of the distinct orders of human society Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. In fear, the members of these orders all worship the Supreme Lord by offering him presentations according to their respective activities.
as one ties up bulls by a rope. The Lord binds people to the words of the Vedas emanating from himself. Last time also we discussed this point. So through the Vedic literatures, it has been designated that okay, you are a Brahmana, you are a Kshatriya, you are Vaishya, you are Shudra, you are Brahmachari, Grasta, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi, you are an animal, you are a human being, you are a bird, you are a beast, and then you are Devata, you are Rishi. Just by giving us that identity, that tagline, what we are supposed to do, what we are not supposed to do, everything has been predestined. So we cannot transgress those rules and regulations. So that is what is indicated here. Thus, all the people bound by the chains of the names and actions offer tribute to the Supreme Lord in fear. So that's being indicated by our designations. Everyone out of fear. Okay, this has been indicated by Shastra. So we should serve the Lord in this capacity. So everyone offers service to Supreme Lord in that capacity. That's how everyone is under the control of the Supreme Lord. So we may not see the Lord's control every minute. Externally, somebody is controlling us. No. Just by giving us some identity, the Lord is actually controlling all of us. We don't have to control every now and every second by second, every day by day. One time, He has given us one identity. Okay, you are a male. Male ke liye separate duties. You are female, separate duties. You are Brahmana, separate duties. You are human being, separate duties. So like that, the Lord takes care and maintains of the entire universe. So this verse elaborates. Vachi refers to the Vedas. All people are bound by the chains of names such as Brahmana and actions such as sacrifice. For a Brahmana, it is sacrifice. For a Kshatriya, ruling and fighting. For a Vaishya, agriculture, cow trading, cow and trading, cow production and trading. For a Shudra, serving others. So that's decided. Out of fear, out of respect, everyone follow their respective duties, varnashrama duties. So this is how the Supreme Lord is controlling all of us. So like that.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, why it is said that means all of the four varnas perform their duties out of fear? Like means that is a very lower level of following any order of the Lord, na? Out of fear. The one is out of fear, other is out of duty, and the highest is out of prema. But then to generalize like that everyone performs things in out of fear, it's I didn't understand quite properly.
Okay. So you are a doctor. You do your doctor's duties as a matter of duty, matlab, with sincerity. So casually you will treat your patients or you treat your parents with complete vigilance and attention.
Parents, you are saying?
No, patients. Matlab,
Patient.
whomsoever you are treating as a doctor.
Yeah, with care, out of sense of duty.
Why care? Why sense of responsibility? Why if you are not careful, what happens?
Like the patient also can perceive na, that doctor is not sincere. Like,
No, it's not about sincere. So first of all, what happens is you will give a wrong treatment.
yeah.
If you are not careful while treating the patient, there will be a wrong treatment. As a result of that, there will be a
No cure.
issue. Something will happen to the patient. Then what happens? The government will consider this anomaly and give punishment to the doctor. Yes or no? So
Yes.
doctor is careful. Okay. There is a possibility somebody out of love they may be careful. But in general, one is careful because if one is not careful, the repercussions are very bad. That is called fear. It is a healthy fear. It is not like fear means so Amesha, I mean this fear is like healthy fear. So this is my duty, I should do it properly. If I don't do it properly, the government will punish me. So
Yeah.
not properly means doing if I do something improper, if I do something I mean if I cause some big mess, so that will create trouble to me in future. So in that way, everyone is careful, everyone is vigilant in executing their duties. That point Yamaraja says out of fear.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So now he says that who are those masters under the control of Supreme Lord are performing and serving the Lord with utmost care? He will name the masters, some of the important masters. Aham Mahendro Niriti Pracheta.
Aham Mahendro Niruti Pracheta.
Somognirisha Pavano Virinchi.
Somogniresha Pavano Virinchi.
Aditya Vishve Vasavota Sadhya.
Aditya Vishve Vasavotha Sadhya.
Marudgana Rudra Gogana Shasiddha.
Marudgana Rudragana Sasiddha.
अन्ये च ये विश्वसृजो महेशा.
Anye च ये विश्वसृजो मरेशा.
भृग्वादयो स्पृष्टरजस्तमक्षा.
भृग्वादयो स्पृष्टरजस्तमस्का.
यस्ते हितं न विदुस्पृष्टमाया.
यस्येहितं न विदुस्पृष्टमाया.
सत्त्वा प्रधाना अपि किं ततोऽन्ये.
सत्त्वा प्रधाना अपि किं ततोऽन्ये. I, Yamaraj, Indra, the king of heaven, Nirutti, Varuna, Chandra, the moon god, Agni, Lord Shiva, Pavana, Lord Brahma, Surya, the sun god, Vivasu, the eight Vasus, Vishwavasu, the eight Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Marutas, the Rudras, the Siddhas, and Marichi, and the other great rishis engaged in maintaining the departmental affairs of the universe, as well as the best of the demigods headed by Brihaspati, and the great sages headed by Bhrigu, are all certainly freed from the influence of the two base material modes of nature, namely passion and ignorance. Nevertheless, although we are in the mode of goodness, we cannot understand the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What then is to be said to others who, under illusion, merely speculate to know God?
Here, kindly note down this. Here the word aham comes at the very beginning. We will discuss about this later also. So now, since Yamadutas were thinking that our master is the topmost pastor of the Supreme Lord, just to give some satisfaction to Yamadutas, he takes his own name. Among all the leaders, Yamaraj, myself, and then Mahendra, and then Niruti, Pracheta, like that. Yamaraja, his name. Indra, Niruti, Varuna, Chandra, Agnish, Lord Shiva, Vayu, Lord Brahma, Surya, Vishwadevas, Vasu, Sadhyas, Maruts, Rudras, Siddhas, Marichi, and the other great sages engaged in maintaining the affairs of the universe, as well as the best of the Devatas headed by Brihaspati, and the great sages headed by Bhrigu, all certainly freed from the influence of passion and ignorance, though situated in the mode of goodness, cannot understand the activities of the Supreme Lord. Since we are touched by Maya, what then is to be said of others? So now they are telling that they may ask a question. Okay, if the Lord is your master, so you must be knowing your master will come and stop you. Still, why did you send us? So he's telling that yes, Baba, we are all controlled by the Supreme Lord. We are all his servants. But still, in spite of that, we don't understand how the Supreme Lord is act. How does he act at every instant? That we don't know. Even though we are all servants of Supreme Lord is our master, but we can't understand him completely. That point is telling. As well as the best of the Devatas headed by Brihaspati and the great sages headed by Bhrigu, all certainly freed from the influence of passion. None of us have passion and ignorance. Though we are all situated in mode of goodness, but still we are touched by Maya. As a result of that, we don't know the Supreme Lord completely. We don't know how and when and in what way the Lord decides to act. That we don't know about him completely. In the past, as we just discussed, people have chanted the names also, but Lord did not respond immediately. But this time he responded immediately. I don't know why. We can't understand him. How and why he does what he does. So like that, he's telling. And kindly understand one point. Here Yamaraja is taking his name. Among all those people who does not understand completely, who does not understand Lord properly, I am the first one. For the Yamadutas satisfaction, he might have used his name first because I am one of the first controllers of the Supreme Lord. But his point at the end says that among all those people who does not understand about the Lord, I am the first one. Matlab, I don't even understand anything. The others whose names mentioned afterwards, at least they understand something more. I am the number one from the people who don't know anything about the Lord. So like that, Yamaraj is putting himself in the lowest rank in the order, in the matter of knowing the Supreme Lord. So like that. The Lord is not only superior to me, but he is superior to everyone, including Brahma. Though we know everything in this material world, we don't know when or what the Lord will do. So, thus, it is said, O King, no one can understand the plan of Lord Krishna because even those engaged in reasoning and scripture are bewildered by that inquiry. This is a verse spoken by our Bhishma Deva while consoling Yudhishthira Maharaj on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, in spite of he himself being lying down on the bed of arrows. Nahi hasya karhi chitrajan puman veda videstitam yad vijnasaya yukta muyanti kavayopihi. Though we are not influenced by rajas and tamas, we are touched by sattva, which is also maya. So there Bhishma said that even the great kavis, great learned people cannot understand what is there in the heart of Lord, what Lord is thinking and what he want to do. We cannot understand, no one can understand. Because that condition is, so my dear Yudhishthir, you are Dharma personified. And you have Bhima, the most powerful person, you are Arjuna, you are the most expert archer. And you have Nakula and Sahadeva. But still you have to go through all these difficult things. And no one can explain it. Because The Lord's desire no one can understand what is there in the heart of the Supreme Lord. Muhyanti kavayopihi. Though we are not influenced by Rajas and Tamas, we are touched by Sattva, which is also Maya. That's why we cannot understand the Lord completely. Like that, Yamaraj keeping himself in a low position. In spite of saying he is taking his name, I am the one of the topmost masters of the Supreme, topmost masters in this universe according to your understanding, but I am the lowest person in understanding the Supreme Lord. Like that, Yamaraj is talking about self. Like that. Now Yamaraj will continue. Yam vai na gobir manasa shubhirva
Yam vai na gobir manasa subirva
hruda girava subruto vichakshate
hruda girava subruto vichaksate
atmanamanta udisantamatmanam
atmanamanta hridi santamatmanam
चक्षुर यतैवा कृतयस्ततापरम्
चक्षुर्यतैक्वा कृतायस्तथा param. As the different limbs of the body cannot see the eyes, the living entities cannot see the Supreme Lord, who is situated as a super soul in everyone's heart, not by the senses, by the mind, by the life air, by thoughts within the heart, or by the vibration of words, can the living entities ascertain the real situation of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
So here Yamaraja is saying, Hare Krishna, as forms cannot know the eye, the living entities cannot know the Supreme Lord, who is situated as the super soul in everyone's heart, by the knowledge senses, by the mind, by the action senses, by consciousness without thought, or by words. So basically, with our eyes, we are seeing everything, we are seeing the entire world. But the world, so basically, with my eyes, I am seeing the object in front of me, the laptop, the water bottle, different forms are there. But these objects cannot know the eyes, they are not conscious. And same way, I myself cannot see my eyes. I see the entire world through my eyes, but I cannot see my eyes. So like that. Or the objects in the entire world cannot see my eyes. Because they are seen by my eyes, but I cannot see them. They cannot see my eyes. Similarly, the living entities cannot know the Supreme Lord, who is situated as the super soul in everyone's heart, by the knowledge senses, by the mind, by the action senses, by consciousness, without thought or by words. So basically, Paramatma is there in the core of the heart, and then Jivatma is there, and Jivatma possesses so many instruments such as the sense karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, the gross body, man, buddhi, ahankara, chetana, all these things are there. And we get to speak, all these senses can only help us interacting the external world. Maybe to some extent, with the help of mind, intelligence, and chetana and all, we may interact within our internal world. But still, unless until somebody is on the perfectional level, cannot interact with the Paramatma. But for people in general, for normally, our consciousness is generally material consciousness. Our thought process is all about how to interact with the external world, not about how to interact with the internal world, how to interact with the Paramatma. So taking that as a clue, Yamaraj is saying that just like with the eyes, we can only see the external world, but we cannot see eyes itself. From the same eyes, we cannot see the same eyes. Of course, you may say the mirror we can see. Not about mirror, but there is no mirror. Normally with the eyes we see outside world, but we can't see the eyes itself. Same way, the living entities with the help of Paramatma, when Paramatma is in the core of the heart, we can see the entire world in front of us with the help of our Jnanadaya karmas and all. But with the help of all these instruments, we can't see the Paramatma. That is the limitation. We cannot know him because he is beyond the sense perception. He is Adokshaja, is beyond the perception of the senses. Gobihi means the knowledge senses. Manasa means by thoughts. Ashubhi means by the action senses. Hruda means by consciousness without thought, Nirvikalpa. That means the base normal consciousness, which is actually material consciousness. One does not know him by these means. He is the one soul situated in all souls. Similarly, forms cannot know the I. The revealer is superior to the forms it reveals. It is only by the presence of Paramatma we can understand the end, everything. If Paramatma is not there, we cannot understand. But even though by the presence of Paramatma, with the help of all these senses, we are understanding the entire world, but these senses cannot help us understand the Paramatma. That is their limitation. So that is what? So Yamaraja is saying that the Supreme Lord is the ultimate controller and is controlling this world through with the help of all of us, the intermediate controllers. We are only like the Karmendriyas and Jnanendriyas. We are only instruments used by the Supreme Lord to maintain the universe. And we cannot know the Supreme Lord completely. That's how Yamaraj is giving this example. So it is like that. And further he continues. But all of you are able to follow? Any questions?
No, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. If there are no questions, we'll have 2 minutes break and then we'll continue. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Devotees are there?
Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. तस्यात्मतन्त्रस्य हरेरधिष्ठितो
तस्यात्मतन्त्रस्य हरेरधिष्ठितो
परस्य मायाधिपतेर्महात्मनः
परस्य माया अधिपतेर्महात्मनः
प्रायेण दूता ह्यवै मनोहरास्
प्रायेण दूता इह वै मनोहरास्
चरन्ति तद्रूपगुणस्वभावः
चरन्ति तद्रूपगुणा स्वभावः. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead is self-sufficient and fully independent. He is the master of everyone and everything, including the illusionary energy. He has his form, qualities, and features, and similarly his order carrier, the Vaishnavas, who are very beautiful, possesses bodily features, transcendental qualities, and a transcendental nature almost like his. They always wander within this world with full independence. Hare Krishna.
So in the previous 2-3 verses, he indicated who the Supreme Lord is here, and he also indicated that all of us, we are all servants of Supreme Lord. We simply follow, and we don't know how does he act whenever he wants, what he does, how he does. We don't have complete clarity. And then now he is going to speak about Vishnu Dutas. The Vishnu Dutas are also as powerful as Lord Vishnu. So just like we cannot understand how does the Supreme Lord act, we also cannot understand how does the Vishnu Dutas act. And just like Vishnu's order cannot be not followed, similarly Vishnu Duta's order also should be followed, cannot be neglected. Like that, Yamaraja is saying. The very attractive servants of the independent Supreme Lord, the Supreme Soul, the master of the material energy, having natures, qualities, and forms similar to the Lord's, move about this world. Just like the Supreme Lord is independent, his servants are also completely independent. Just like Lord's order cannot be neglected, his servants' order also cannot be neglected. Just like the Supreme Lord as Paramatma is everywhere, his servants also can go anywhere without any restriction. So he is indicated the power of Vishnu Dutas. So Yamadutas is saying, let the Supreme Lord be. We also know about him. We will not ask about him. Who are those persons who scolded us and protected the sinner? So for the answer to this question, Yamaraj is speaking this verse. Prayena mahohara means very attractive. This implies that the servants of Yama are not attractive. The Yamadutas himself, those who are attractive people, that means their bodily features are not so attractive. Because Yamadutas are supposed to be fear invoking personalities, not the love invoking personalities. So something like that. So now thus he is going to speak about Vishnudutas more elaborately. In this verse he glorified about their power. Next verse also they continue to glorify about their power. Their how everyone in this entire world are respecting them and worshipping them. That is indicated in the next verse. Bhutani Vishnu Surapujitani
Bhutani Vishnu Surapujitani
Durdarshalingani Mahadbhutani
Durdarshalingani Mahadbhutani
Rakshanti Tadbhakti Mata Parebhyo
Rakshanti Tadbhakti Mata Parebhyo
Mattascha Martyan Ata Sarvatascha.
Mattascha Martyanatha Sarvatascha. The order carriers of Lord Vishnu, who are worshipped even by the demigods, possesses wonderful bodily features exactly like those of Vishnu and are very rarely seen. The Vishnudutas protect the devotees of the Lord from the hands of enemies, from envious persons, and even from my jurisdiction, as well as from natural disturbances.
The order carriers of Lord Vishnu, worshipped even by the Devatas, possessing wonderful bodily features, but very rarely seen, protect the devotees of the Lord on earth from the hands of enemies and from me, as well as from natural disturbances. So Yamaraja says that the Vishnudutas, who are worshipped even by the Devatas such as Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, all the way up to Brahma and Shiva, they possess beautiful bodily features, but they are not seen by everyone and anyone. Once in a while, when personalities like Dhruva and Ajamila who are ready to go to Vaikuntha, they will come to take the wonderful devotees of the Lord to Vaikuntha. And also, whenever there is some emergency, in order to protect the devotees, sometimes Lord Vishnu might come alone, sometimes he will send his Vishnu Dutas onto the earth from to protect them from the hands of the enemies and also from me. I may send my order carriers to bring them to Yamaloka, but Vishnu Dutas come and stop. They will take them to spiritual world. They are not who are not supposed to come to hell. They'll be taken by Vishnu Dutas to spiritual world. And also from natural disturbances. Whenever there are so many natural disturbances, the Vishnu Dutas will come and protect their masters, devotees. So this is the power and this is the way the Vishnu Dutas protect Vishnu Bhaktas always. So like that. Oh fools, they are worshipped even by the Devatas headed by Brahma and Shiva. You are not worshipped by anyone and you have offended them. So Yamaraja is saying that these Vishnu Dutas are worshipped by all the Devatas by Brahma and Shiva as good as Lord Vishnu himself. And you people are not worshipped by anybody. You are comparing them yourself with them. They protect the devotees from even from me. How am I? How low I am? He says that the Vishnutas even protect Lord's devotees even from me also. My position is nowhere in compared to the Vishnudutas. And you are asking me that I should go and bring them here and punish them in front of you so that you, for your satisfaction. I am myself no one in front of the Vishnudutas, then what to speak of you, Yamadutas? Like that, Yamaraja is very chastising angrily to the Yamadutas. So in that way. Basically, Yamaraj is actually glorifying the Lord Vishnu and Lord Vishnu's associates, the Vishnudutas, by keeping himself in a low position. So now at this point of time, the Yamadutas ask a question. If they protect the devotees, why are they favoring adharma? The next question. Okay, that is fine if they can protect the devotees, but Ajamila is not a devotee. How can they say Ajamila as a devotee is sinful, the topmost sinner, Ajamila? How can they say he is a devotee? If they are supposed to protect the dharmic devotees, why are they protecting adharmic Ajamila? So for which Yamara says that, how can fools like you understand the truth about dharma? Even great sages cannot understand the truth about dharma. Saying that, Yamaraja is speaking this famous verse. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam.
Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam.
Na vai vidur rushayo napi devaha.
Na vai vidur rishayo napi deva.
Na siddha mukhya sura manusya.
Na siddha mukhya asura manushya.
Kuto nu vidyadara charanadayaha.
Kuto nu vidyadhara charanadaya. The real religious principles are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although fully situated in the mode of goodness, even the great rishis who occupy the topmost planets cannot ascertain the real religious principles. Nor can the demigods or the leaders of Siddhaloka, to say nothing of the asuras, ordinary human beings, Vidyadharas and Charanas.
The great sages the Devatas, the chief Siddhas, the demons, and humans. What to speak of Vidyadharas and Charanas cannot ascertain dharma established by the Supreme Lord. So he says that. So you, the Yamadutas says, you people are saying that they are doing adharma. Actually, what is actual dharma? None of us cannot ascertain. Then who are you to ascertain what is dharma, what is adharma? What you know is only one aspect of dharma. You don't know the all multifarious aspects of dharma. So like that, Yamaraja is chastising the Yamadutas. The great Devatas headed by Brahma, Shiva, the chief Siddhas, the Asuras, Vidyadharas, Charanas, and all of us cannot understand what actual dharma is all about. Because the Supreme Lord who had established the principles of dharma, only he knows the different kinds of nuance of dharma. What apparently appears to be adharma for us, from Supreme Lord's point of view, may be dharma. What apparently appears to be adharma from our point of view, from Lord's point of view, it may be dharma or adharma, whatever. So we don't know, we can't understand. Then Yamadutas will ask question. If no one understands that dharma really exists, is there something called as dharma? Some clear-cut definition of dharma is there or not? Then Yamaraja will say that it is not that none of us does not understand any dharma. We understand dharma according to our level of capacity. But complete understanding of dharma, only the Supreme Lord knows. Among all of us who understand the nature of dharma, there are great personalities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Narada, four Kumaras, all these are there. But among all those people who understand the nature of dharma, I am the lowest. Here Yamaraja keeps his own name at the bottommost. Previously also he said, among all the leaders and the masters in this world, I am the topmost master, according to you, my dear Yamabatas. But among all those who know the Supreme Lord, I am the lowest. I am the first one who does not know about the Lord. And the same way, among all those people who does not know about the dharma that has been created by the Lord, I am the last person to know, because I am the person who know very less, very less. And others who are elder to me, they know more about the dharma created by the Supreme Lord. So who are they? Their names are mentioned. This is the verse which talks about the 12 Mahajanas. According to Yamaraja, the first one knows the maximum dharma, second one little less, third one little more less, like that. I am the least knower of the dharma established by the Supreme Lord. We know about dharma according to our level of understanding, according to our capacity to handle. We know. The personalities, others, they may know 99%, 98%, 95, 90, 85, 80, 75, 70, 65, 60. I am the least in the list. I am the least knower of the principles of dharma. Like that Yamaraja is speaking now. This is the verse which talks about the 12 Mahajanas. This verse is there in your exam also. Kindly take note of it. Swayambur Narada Shambhu.
Swayambhu. Okay, continue.
Swayambhu Narada Shambho
Kumara Kapilo Manu.
Kumaro Kapilo Manu
Prahlado Janako Bhishmo.
Prahlado Janako Bhishmo
Balir Vaiyasakirvayam.
Balir Vayasakirvayam
Dvadashayate Vijanimo.
Dvadashayate Vijanimo
Dharmam Bhagavatam Bata.
Dharmam Bhagavatam Bata
Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham.
Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham
Yamnyatvam Ashnute.
Yamnyatva Ashnute. Lord Translation: Lord Brahma, Bhagavan Narada, Lord Shiva, the four Kumaras, Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti, Swayambhu Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Janaka Maharaj, Grandfather Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, Sukadev Goswami, and I myself know the real religious principle. My dear servants, this transcendental religious principle, which is known as Bhagavad Dharma or surrender unto the Supreme Lord and love for Him is uncontaminated by the material modes of nature. It is very confidential and difficult for ordinary human beings to understand, but if by chance one fortunately understands it, he is immediately liberated and thus he returns home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
My dear servants, Lord Brahma, Narada, Lord Shiva, the four Kumaras, Lord Kapila, Swayambhuva Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Janaka Maharaj, Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami, and I myself know Bhagavad Dharma, which is confidential, pure, and difficult to comprehend. Knowing this, one attains immortality. So, like that. So, important thing is that Dvadashaite Vibjanimo Dharmam Bhagavatan Bata. My dear Bhatas, these 12 personalities know as much as possible. It is not that they know completely, but they are the 12 people who knows the Dharma of the Supreme Dharma that has been created by Supreme Lord. Fair enough, in a good way. And what is that? Why only these people know? Why are not everyone else does not know? The reason is Guhyam. It is actually very confidential. Vishuddham. It is completely pure. Because since it is very pure, only pure people know about it. Others cannot understand it. Dhurubodham. Difficult to comprehend. Even though others may hear, but they cannot comprehend the real meaning of it. And why this? So why this has so many qualities, attributes? Yam Jnatva Amrutam Ashnute. The specialty of this dharma is whoever understands this dharma is qualified to go back home back to Godhead. It is such a special dharma, that's why it is not understood by anyone and everyone completely. Yeah, one may know it according to one's capacity to understand to some extent, but completely not. No one knows this dharma completely. If one knows dharma, if no one knows dharma, then what is the proof of his existence? This is the question asked by Yamadutas. Yamaraja said that we know dharma, but have not clearly indicated this in the Smriti Shastras we have written. Why? Because it is secret. Yamaraja says that, yeah, we 12 of us know, but whatever teachings we have given in that, we have not told it openly. We have kept it secret because it is secret. It is supposed to be kept secret. Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam, Pavitram Idamuttamam, Pratyaksh Yavagam Dharma Susukam Kartamaviyam. In the 9th chapter of the Gita and later with words such as Sarva Guhetamam Bhuyashnume Paramam Vacha, hear from me the most secret knowledge, 1864. Then Lord Krishna speaks, Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Manamaskuru Sarva Dharman Paritijya Mamekam Sharanam Raja. These are the topmost secrets which are not spoken openly many times. This dharma is beyond the gunas. It is Vishuddham. It is in Vishuddha Sattva. It is difficult to understand because it is not to be mentioned in the Smriti Shastras dealing with gunas, and because it is difficult to understand by a mind contaminated with the false, like interpreting the meaning arthavada committed by people following karma. So because we cannot speak this openly in, and we cannot write this openly in our Dharma Shastras, because the people of this world are that tend to misinterpret the meaning, that they tend to tweak the meaning according to their own personal choice. That's why we don't openly say about this normally. So like that, Yamaraja is saying that even though we know, but we don't speak in public forum. Only for a qualified person, confidentially we speak. It is a personal discussion. It is not a public discussion. So like that, Yamaraja is saying here. That's why anyone and everyone does not know about this. Only few notables know about it properly, not even completely, but even that is also whatever they know, they cannot speak to anyone and everyone. It is a private affair. Only people who are qualified will discuss among themselves. So like that.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, Bhagavad Gita is part of Shruti Shastras. I'm asking, I don't know that is an this
Bhagavad Gita is part of Smriti. Bhagavad Gita is part of Smriti. It is part of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a Smriti. Shruti Shastra.
Okay, because here it is written, it is difficult to understand because it is not to be mentioned in the Smriti Shastras.
Hmm.
Dealing with the gunas means
Hmm.
Smriti Shastras are dealing with the gunas. They are
Hmm.
with gunas. So Mahabharata is with the gunas, like that. It is to be understood.
Yes. See,
Okay.
even in the Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita is there, many people are reading it. But how many people will come to a conclusion that we need to practice bhakti? That too, Ananya Bhakti. Even we, in spite of being told for many years regularly, every day, in every class, hammering also, even in spite of hearing it 1,000 times, still our bhakti is not Ananya yet. At least I can say about
Yes.
myself. So in that way, it is still secret.
Yeah. Because like it is written that means and we see outside also that many people talk on Bhagavad Gita na Prabhuji, and they derive so different conclusion. It is mainly some people are more on the how they can pronounce it properly, then some people are उसमें से जो philosophy है तत्वज्ञान उसके ऊपर they will means they will expand on that and try add their opinions also, like that. So that is how those who will understand the real meaning of it, and those who will follow it after understanding, those are the very rare people. That is why it is Guya, like that. I means
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita may go in everyone's hand, like how we distribute. So it goes to different people like that. But really उसमें से कितने लोग समझ के भक्त बनेंगे and follow करेंगे, those are very few quantity.
Even that is also okay. Even Bhakti banenge, वो भक्ति के अंदर भी बहुत सारा different ranks are there.
Yeah.
We have Aishwarya Bhakti, Madhurya Bhakti, or Sadhana Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. So now from Gaudiya point of view, the Sadhana Bhakti or Aishwarya Bhakti for Vaikuntha Lord worship. Okay, it is being prevalent and everyone will understand about it, everyone speak about it. How many will speak about Raganuga Bhakti? How many will understand what is Raganuga Bhakti? How many will aim to achieve Raganuga Bhakti, perfection in Raganuga Bhakti? That is still secret. So in that way.
Yeah. Prabhuji, sadhana bhakti is considered as Aishwarya Bhakti.
Yes.
Okay.
The Vedi Sadhana Bhakti is supposed to be considered as Aishwarya Bhakti because so many rules and regulations, everyone need to worship the Supreme Lord like the king is worshipped. Raganuga Bhakti is Bhakti and spontaneous level. Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti.
Okay. Prabhuji, and one last thing, like, can you please, means I have heard it, but still it remains a bit confusion that what is the exact difference between Shruti Shastras and Smriti Shastras?
The Shruti only tells you do this. The Vedas will tell that, okay, you should do this. Karma means you should act like this. Jnana means you should do this. Yoga means you should do this. Bhakti means you should do this. And Smriti Shastras will tell that. So what the Vedas are telling, you do this, and somebody did it like this. You see the example of somebody doing it. Smriti means the teachings of Vedas are shown through some examples, some live examples. Somebody followed it. And how did they follow? Their entire life history is mentioned here.
Okay.
Like we say that Bhakti means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, etc. So what do you mean by Smaranam? Okay, take the example of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, Pura 7th canto, Prahlad Maharaj story. How did he practice Bhakti? Smaranam. Under all circumstances, Smaranam. Like that.
Okay. So, matlab, all Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, everything comes under Smriti Shastra, right? Okay. And
Bhagavad
then
Gita, though it is part of Mahabharata, though it is part of Smriti Shastras, but the way Bhagavad Gita narrated, it is the Shruti. That's why we say na Gita Upanishad. Bhagavad Gita mainly talks about do this, don't do this. Shruti only. The Shruti principle is like Bhagavad Gita. There there are no practical examples in Bhagavad Gita. The examples we see in Mahabharata or Ramayana or Bhagavatam.
Okay. Yeah.
So
But
that becomes Smriti.
that means this Mahabharata is a Smriti Shastra, and
Yes.
in that the Bhagavad Gita, which is a Shruti Shastra, is embedded within it. Like that, it is to be.
Like that we should understand.
Okay. And does Prabhuji Shruti Shastras has anything to do with it is only through hearing it is transferred like that something? Does it have, because I faintly remember somewhere I have heard like that, or it is not
So
wrong?
basically, that is the way, na? If somebody is saying you do this, so we need to hear that what to do, what not to do, only by hearing, na?
Yeah. No, means Smriti Shastras are one which is a documented thing, matlab script mein
No.
available.
See, this is basically the understanding of Shruti being preserved by hearing means, of course, in due course of time, the Puranas are keep updated, na? The Vedas are same, they don't change. जो Veda था, the 4 Vedas, many millions of years back, same 4 Vedas are there, now also they will be there. And there will be no additions or deletions in the Vedas. But in the Puranas and Ityasas, they keep adding the information. For example, Bhagavata Purana, now what we have, the whole 10th canto is the recent addition. So if you have taken a Bhagavad Purana in the previous Kali Yuga, the whole 10th canto must have been Ramayana in that. Because Ramayana was the recent topic at that time. Now the recent topic is Krishna Lila. In the next Kali Yuga, the 10th canto will contain Chaitanya Lila. Chaitanya Lila is the recent pastime of the Supreme Lord's Avatara.
Oh, so it will be included in the Bhagavatam like that.
The Chaitanya Lila or any other Avatara whoever will come in the next upcoming 3 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, their pastimes will be explained in the 10th canto. Whoever the recent Avatara, their pastimes will be elaborated in the primemost canto of the entire Bhagavatam.
Okay.
So like
That means, Prabhuji, all Upanishads are Shruti Shastras, and all the Puranas and Bhagavad Puran also, they are all Smriti Shastras.
Upanishads, Vedas, they are all Shruti Shastras. They don't change. They remain as it is.
Okay.
But the Puranas and Ityasas are keep updating. For example, this time Mahabharata is explained because that was the kings are there. The next time, the Pandava story will be there, but only a few chapters. The next time Mahabharata, who are the recent kings? The kings will be in the Treta, Satya, Treta, Dwapara. Their pastimes will be narrated elaborately.
Okay, so they keep updating as per the recent pastimes.
Yes. If somebody, for example, somebody writes the Mahabharata now, if today somebody writes Mahabharata, the Pandavas pastimes also will be there, maybe some extent, but recent pastimes will be elaborated extensively. Like for example, about all the devotee kings who are in the past, in the recent history, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Krishna Devaraya, and our Indradumna Maharaj, not Indradumna Maharaj, whoever the Prataprudra Maharaj, all these devotee kings, their pastimes will be explained in detail. That will be our latest Mahabharata.
Okay. And Prabhuji, that means in the next Kali Yuga, when the 10th canto will be more of a Chaitanya Lila, so that time there will be no Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavad because it is already included in the Bhagavad.
It may be like that. No, that time also it may be there. Like for example, Ramayana happened long back. Na, it is there now also. So for some time, that's what I'm saying. Na, whichever the famous avatara recently appears, their glories are sung elaborately. So Bhagavatam is mainly focusing on Krishna Lila, like that Ramayana was focusing on Ram Lila. So Ramayana will be there, and Krishna Lila may be explained in some other scripture, or Bhagavatam Krishna Lila may be there, and some other scripture might be talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu elaborately. So like that, something will be there.
Okay.
So in that way I'm saying, yeah. So one scripture becomes the most evident at that time, which explain the recent pastimes.
Okay.
So in that way. So for now, we see Bhagavatam as the most evident. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, afterwards we have Chaitanya Bhagavatam. Before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, what was there? Bhagavatam only was there for all the Vaishnavas. Now for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we have Chaitanya Bhagavat as well as Bhagavatam, or Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat and Bhagavatam. And for Sri Vaishnavas, they have Ramanujacharya Charitra. They have Bhagavatam also, Vishnu Puran also, and Ramanujacharya Charitra also is there. All the Alvars Charitras are there. That are also like a recent scripture for them. So in that way.
Okay, that means Prabhuji, in other sampradayas, Bhagavatam and this Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, these are not the very, means they don't
No.
carry so
See,
much.
Bhagavatam is common for all. Bhagavatam will be there. Chaitanya Charitamrita is for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Ramanujarya for Sri Vaishnavas. Like that, their respect to Acharyas history will be their respect to scripture at that point of time.
Okay.
Bhagavatam. See, for Sri Vaishnavas, Lord Vishnu is the main deity. That's why they mainly focus on Vishnu Purana. For those who are mainly focusing on Lord Krishna, for them Bhagavatam.
Okay. Yeah, that is what I was thinking, because for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Bhagavatam, when we say it is about the Lord, but when we say Ramanujacharya Charitam, it is about the Acharyas. We don't talk about, means only Prabhupada Charitra. We also read Bhagavatam like that. No? So for them, it is Vishnu Puran you mentioned.
For us, how we treat Chaitanya Charitamrita like that, the Sri Vaishnavas treat about Ramanujacharya and other Acharyas. For them, they are the founders. And the way we treat Bhagavatam, they also take care of Bhagavatam, and also they have three scriptures: Bhagavatam, Vishnu Purana, and Ramayana. They take these three as the important scriptures.
Okay. Like that for Rudra Sampradaya and Sri this Kumar Sampradaya also some different scripture will be there.
Yeah, will be there. Bhagavatam, because they also talk about Krishna only mostly. So for them also Bhagavatam is the main principal scripture. And yeah, like that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Because Sri Vaishnavas, they mainly focus on Lord Vishnu and his various avatars. So whichever scriptures talking about these avatars, they consider. Vishnu Purana, Ramayana, and Bhagavatam. These three are their main.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, any pastimes for Janak Maharaj?
Yeah, Janak Maharaj, whole Ramayana is about Janak Maharaj.
Ramayana is about Lord Ram.
So in that also Janaka Maharaj details also mentioned, na, wherever he comes. In not Adi Balakanda and Uttarakanda. In both the places you can hear about Janaka Maharaj and other details about Janaka Maharaj.
Okay, thank you.
See, Ramayana, the principal personality may be Lord Ram. That doesn't mean that he's not talking about anybody else. So when we read the Mula Ramayana, matlab, every shloka by shloka, we'll get to know all these details, additional details. We only generally read a kind of summary version of the Ramayana. So in that Ram story will be there. Other stories may not be talked about so elaborately. But if you read the Mula Ramayana, which is about 24,000 shlokas, so there we will get details about all these things. All the other personalities also. So like that. Okay. So what is the time now? Hare Krishna, anyone can tell me? I don't have time.
8:20.
Okay. This one verse we'll stop here. I'm not in Bombay or at home. I'm in Pondicherry at a distant place. So sorry for the late, and also we'll continue the remaining verses next week. They are very important. So we don't want to discuss in hurry. So this is the last verse for today. We'll discuss and then we'll close for this verse. Etavateva lokesmin
एतावते
एतावते एव लोकेऽस्मिन्
pumsham dharma parasmrutaha
पुंसां धर्मा परास्मृतः
bhakti yogo bhagavate
भक्तियोगो भगवति
tannama grahanadibhi.
तन्नामग्रहणादिभिः. Devotional service beginning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the ultimate religious principle for the living entity in human society.
Pure bhakti to the Supreme Lord beginning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, is the real Dharma, the supreme object for the human living in this world. So now Yamadutas might have asked, "Oh, my dear sir, then if you people, you 12 people only know about the Dharma to some extent, then you should teach us that Dharma and deliver us your servants." So now Yamaraja has to teach. In spite of many varieties of Dharma existing, Bhakti is actually the real Dharma. Etavan eva lokesmin pumshan Dharma parasmutha. There may be so many Dharmas in this world, but Para Dharma, the supreme Dharma, is Bhakti Yoga unto Bhagavan, which is starting with Namagrahanadibi, chanting the names of the Supreme Lord. In spite of many varieties of Dharma existing, Bhakti is actually the real Dharma. The word Para here is a noun meaning the highest thing. Paro Dharma. Savai Pumsha Paro Dharma Eto Bhakti Radokshaje. Ahetuki Apratiyata Yatma Supraditi. It's like the same thing here also. This Bhakti Yoga excludes Bhakti mixed with the gunas, such as offering karmas. This is the Abhideya Tattva of the Bhagavatam. This Paro Dharma does not even includes any karmas, any varnashram dharmas, brahmachari, grasta, vanaprastha dharma, sannyasi, brahmana, kshatriya, vaishyudra, all those things are not at all included in this. It has been said, dharma projita kaitavotra dharma, dharma chodita kaitavotra paramo, nirmasaranam satam. The highest dharma rejects cheating dharmas. Savai Vumsham Paro Dharma, Bhakti Yoga is the supreme dharma for humanity. So like that. So the dharma which we are talking about, which is dharma vishuddham, durbodham, emnyatva ashuntam ashute, it is not about a mixed bhakti. It is about pure bhakti, ananya bhakti, or raganuga bhakti. So that is the topmost secret. So like that. That is Paro Dharma, which begins with chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord. So like that. They say like that. So this one verse will do because there are no notes for this. Namocharana Mahatmyam
Namocharana Mahatmyam
Hare Pashyata Putraka
Hare Pashyata Putraka
Ajamilopi Enaiva
Ajamilopi Enaiva
Mrutyupashad Amuchyata.
Mrityupashad Amuchyata. My dear servants, who are as good as my sons, just see how glorious is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The greatly sinful Ajamila chanted only to call his son, not knowing that he was chanting the Lord's holy name. Nevertheless,
See,
by chanting the holy name of the Lord, he remembered Narayana, and thus he was immediately saved from the ropes of death.
my dear servant, see the power of this holy name. First of all, secret bhakti for topmost dharma, which starts with chanting the holy names of the Supreme Lord. And see this power of the. So, according to Yamaraj, the bhakti has many activities. The first activity is chanting the holy names. And if chanting the holy names itself is so powerful, then what to speak of other activities of bhakti? So, what is that greatness of chanting the holy names of the Lord? Ajamila, even indicating his son, chanted the names of the Supreme Lord, which itself made him freed from the ropes of death. Then what to speak of other things, other activities of bhakti? One does not have to search for the proof. We have the direct example of Ajamila. Ajamila himself is the first cut example. Just by chanting the name of the Lord, indicating his own son, he became freed from the death. Then what to speak of other things? Even other higher practice of bhakti. So like that, Yamaraja is glorifying the Parodharma, the topmost process of bhakti. This is how Yamaraj will actually speak further glories of bhakti in the upcoming verses. And we'll discuss about them in the next class. Okay. Hare Krishna. I think we'll stop here. It's already 8:30. So thank you very much for joining.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Last class, there was one thing like we had discussed that Ajamila actually had 100 years lifespan, but because of his sins, he was untimely death came in front of him like that.
Hmm.
So and when the sins were removed, he again regained those 12 years remaining and had full lifespan. So if by that standard, if we try to see the Kali Yuga people currently, we see it was means I was astonished to read that 88 years was considered as untimely death. Like, so here we see like so many people die at so early age. So does it mean that their untimely death is because of their sinful activities? Should we conclude?
Yes, like that only we should understand. So people, if they are pious, leading a proper dharmic life, and with proper eating and recreation habits, so one is supposed to live. Even living in a proper environment, one is supposed to live for 100 years. One will live for 100 years because our eating habits are contaminated, our sleeping habits are contaminated, our atmosphere is contaminated, our lifestyle is contaminated, our food is contaminated, our water, the air that we breathe, all are contaminated. Even though we want to live for 100 years, we cannot live because of all this. You are a doctor, you must be seeing people, this patient, that patient, this disease, that disease. Why would one get all these things? Because the contamination of all these things surrounding us.
Yeah.
As time progresses, things will increase more and more contamination, and the lifespan will reduce further and further. So, like that, we can correlate it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, like next time we will complete this chapter. So will there be a gap of 1 week for giving exam, Prabhuji? Because so many verses are also there, na, this time for.
No, verses are there in the shloka book, but exam में उतना verses नहीं है, I think. Exam में not so many verses are there.
एक क्वेश्चन में तीन verses है, Prabhuji.
हाँ,
So,
3 है, but not asked to write 3. I think you write any 2 from the 3, something like that, I suppose.
anyways, but means if 1 week's
We'll see, we'll
gap.
see. See, exam date, we'll think about it because, yeah, 1 second, I'll stop the recording. So next week, anyway, we are